Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the other video? First off, if I sound weird, I apologize. I got a cough drop in my mouth because, again, even after you get done with the sickness, that cough's going to last for weeks, so it is what it is. I don't want to be coughing every 5 milliseconds for you guys. Second, this is a paid request for Phil. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, reviews, commentaries, reactions, re-reviews, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now this is a review for Dead Silence, which is a James Wan film that's pretty much forgotten. And I did not realize how hated this film was. I just assumed that when it came out, that people liked it, but and I always thought the film, I never minded the film. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I liked it for what it is. The ending, no, it's not my cup of tea, but I found a lot of merit to it. And I don't mind. It's not a film I rewatch a lot, but I thought it had a good, creepy atmosphere. It has a great score by Charlie Clouser, who worked on Saw, among other movies, and Death Sentence, other James Wan films. The actors I thought were fine, although Donnie Wahlberg felt like he was in a different movie, which I'll get to. And I don't mind Donnie Wahlberg. In fact, I probably liked him more than Mark Wahlberg, but he did feel he was in a different movie. But I thought he had some of that James Wan, nice direction, good-looking lighting, good-looking shots. It felt pretty fast-paced. It wasn't boring. It was like 90 minutes. It really gets going. But yeah, I wouldn't say I love it. There are elements that reminds me of bits of, like the way the people die, it's different, but it kind of reminds me of The Ring with that sort of look on their face. James Wan has done better. My favorite is Malignant. I love Malignant. I thought that was very underrated when it came out. That's my favorite James Wan film. I liked the first Saw. I'm not big on the franchise. I could maybe watch the second one, but after that, I'm 3 through 9 or whatever it is. I'm not a fan. Spiral, I was kind of indifferent on it. It's like, I didn't hate the movie because I'm like, whatever, I mean, I don't know why. I didn't really hate the movie. I just thought, whatever. Now, there's Saw movie, but it's got Chris Rock, which, maybe because I'm a sucker for Chris Rock, I don't know. Maybe it's more I appreciate than like. I appreciate Chris Rock trying to do something different, even if it wasn't 100% successful. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too kind on it. Probably am. But anyway, I'm back to this. Death Sentence, I don't mind, with Kevin Bacon. Conjuring 1 and 2, I don't mind. I like them. I don't think this is his worst film. Some people say this is his worst movie. I know James Wan and Leigh Whannell. James Wan directed it. Leigh Whannell wrote it. They also worked on Saw. Leigh Whannell would go on to direct films like Upgrade, The Invisible Man. James Wan, of course, would go direct Conjuring, Conjuring 2, Insidious, Insidious 2, The Malignant, etc. I don't think this is... They hated working on this film. And there's a blog that's been deleted where Leigh Whannell tells about how him and James Wan absolutely hated this film. They do think it's their worst movie. It was they hated working with the studio. Something about, I'm trying to remember the details, because the blog was deleted, but there was some excerpts you could find online. That after, I don't think Saw had come out yet, and they got an agent, and the agent said, you got to deal with another studio, and in case this film flops, at least you got another movie. And then you got to think of an idea quick. So it didn't come naturally, so Leigh Whannell got in a room and just made this story up. And then there were script doctors, and there were pressures with the studio, what you can and can't do. You have to explain this, you have to have rules. And Leigh Whannell got mad, why do you need rules? you know what? Sometimes you do need fucking rules, because if you do every single thing, then you pull any bullshit out, then it's like you're more cheating the audience. It's not always the case, but sometimes that is the case. It's like, okay, if you okay, Michael Myers, even he has rules. Now, if one day Michael Myers all of a sudden flies and literally hovers, and then you're breaking the rules. So yeah, rules are not that bad. But yeah, the director and the writer hate this movie, and I don't think it's James Wan's worst film. I mean, Aquaman I think is way worse. Fury 7, do people forget he did Fast and Furious 7? James Wan, yeah, he did Furious 7. The one with the CGI Paul Walker. That's worse than this. I would gladly watch this over Furious 7 and Aquaman any day. Now, if people say it's weakest horror film, I don't know. I think some would say Insidious Chapter 2. But yeah, I don't mind the idea behind the film. I know at the time it seemed more fresh because that was a time period when you had... I mean, this is the same year as Rob Zombie's Halloween. And this was way better than that movie. And you had Hatchet, which was disappointing and it sucked. You had other movies of that nature. And this felt, I'll try to be a bit more of a Hammer horror film. And like I said, it had a good, creepy atmosphere. Store by Charlie Clouser. At times the movie looked very blue. But it kind of fits into this whole thing where you have this couple and they're sent this dummy. And the dummy, they don't know what to make of it. The lead guy goes off to get something, goes to the store. The lady stays home, the wife stays home. We find out that she's expected a baby, but the guy doesn't know it yet. Then it builds up some tension, and there's something under the sheet, and there's a doll, and the lady gets killed. Again, that kind of, the way that happens, like I said, reminds me a bit of The Ring. The way their body changes, and like this, the way their mouths are like, I don't know how else to put it. But you find out it's the legend of Mary Shaw. The legend of Mary Shaw was this ventriloquist lady way back in the day who was doing a show with that same dummy that was sent to this couple. And during the show, this little kid, this little asshole said, "How'd you see your lips move?" And Mary Shaw's like, "Oh yeah?" And then does this big argument with the dummy, and people applaud, but she's really pissed off at this little kid. Sometime later, the little kid went missing. People thought Mary Shaw did it. They caught her, lynched her. Her wish was to have a perfect doll made for her and to be buried with her dolls, which there are like over 100 dolls. Right, if you went to the route of lynching the lady, I don't know why the hell you would care to honor her wishes. That's the thing. That was the thing I thought was weird. You think this lady murdered a little kid. But sure, build this perfect doll and bury 100 dolls with you. Sure, we'll do it. More like, sure, we'll do it. Psych. I ain't gonna do shit because you're dead, lady. You're dead. You hun like my dick. That's what I would have done. I mean, if I thought this lady did it, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. I ain't gonna do fucking shit. I'm gonna go home and drink some fucking Mountain Dew Cold Red or Mellow Yellow. Fuck you. But they do it. And then the legend is that Mary Shaw could possess dummies or dolls, and if you scream, you will die. In fact, take your tongue, be a part of her, as pretty much taking your voice. So the lead guy, his wife is dead. You have this detective played by Donnie Wahlberg, one of the new kids on the block. He was at the very beginning of The Sixth Sense. He was in Saw 2. He's been in a few other movies. I think he was on a TV show. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, Mark Wahlberg I've liked in movies like The Big Hit and The Italian Job. But I would say between the two, I do like Donnie Wahlberg a bit more as an actor. But like I said, he does feel like he's in a different movie. Because, how do I put it? I'm not saying Donnie Wahlberg's as good as this guy. Not even close. But I'm saying, imagine putting Tom Atkins' character of Night of the Creeps in The Conjuring or The Babadook or Hereditary. Actually, it would make Hereditary better. But you know, trying to be a deadly serious movie, but you have a character that's a bit more goofy. But Tom Atkins is way better than this, and that goofy worked very well. I don't even call it goofy. I would say fun in a badass way with Tom Atkins and Night of the Creeps. But, but it's more of like Donnie Wahlberg's maybe trying to have some fun with it. Like there's this thing I don't understand where he shaves in every damn scene. His character, every damn scene, he shaves. Why? I guess it's meant to be. I guess it's meant to be funny. That he just is funny quirk. He shaves with an electric razor in every scene. Just comes off as strange. So Donnie Wahlberg thinks the lead guy did it. He wants to find out what happened. He looks at the case where the dummy was in. It says Mary Shaw and blah blah blah. Goes to see back to the town where Mary Shaw was at and buried. Goes to see his father, played by Bob Gunton. He was the evil warden in Shawshank Redemption. He's been in a lot of other stuff. Who has his new wife Ella. And then he did a bit of the backstory of Mary Shaw. Talks with his dad. Things don't go well. Stays in a motel room with this dummy. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, it does have some nice looking shots. And that's what I'm saying. If this is James Wan on a bad day, it shows that he's a pretty good, stylish director at the very least. He knows how to put style into his movies. I can at least appreciate that. So, but the motel has this flashing red light. Which I will say, I think that was improved in Malignant. I will say that. But you have this nice red flashing into the motel room, and the dummy kind of slowly looks over there. Again, Charlie Claus' score, I think, fits the scenes well. At one point, he tosses Mortician, which I know that the guy, I swear, looks familiar. I don't know if he was that Butler in Spider-Man 3 that came out of nowhere to tell the Harry Osborn what happened. Or maybe that was someone else. But I know I recognize this guy who plays the Mortician. And tells his story about he saw the body of Mary Shaw, but he lived because he didn't scream. I will say, watching it again, it feels as if, in a weird way, even though it's 90 minutes, it still feels like not much happens. Which I know is strange to say, but... because heavy spoilers, if you think about... this is what happens in the movie, timeline. Wife dies, sees his father, that bit of motel, sees a mortician. There's an abandoned theater by this lake. Mortician dies. Guy has a confrontation with Donnie Wahlberg, leaves for this abandoned theater by a lake, which I like the set design, especially inside this abandoned theater. I thought the set design was nicely done. And when the Donnie Wahlberg and the leader there, they see these hundreds of dolls, the way the camera presents it, the way the set design, I thought that was nicely done. Some would say it's turned chicken shit and turned into chicken salad. I don't think it's that bad of a movie. And there's certain ideas I don't mind. I don't mind the idea of the villain. It takes people's ton if you stream, and then puts it to her own, because that's her taking your voice as a ventriloquist. Now I can do your voice by doing that. I don't mind that idea. And like there's a bit when after they see all those dolls and all of them slowly turn to the side. And it's like a lot of these dolls, each hand painted, each one they had to do and move, and a lot was done practically for real, not just crappy CGI. And then they find the little boy from back in the day turned to a puppet. And you realize, yes, Mary Shaw actually did kill this kid. It wasn't falsely accused, she really did do it. Sometimes to make dolls you need some other parts. I will say though, again, it felt like there wasn't much going on. And I wonder if this would work better as kind of a Tales from the Crypt episode than a full-length film. Or maybe like a anthology, part of a anthology segment. At least I don't think it was boring and went, but I said it was like, if I really think about it, not a whole lot happens. I mean, there's not a whole lot to investigation, like Deep Red, where it seems like the guy, there's a lot more investigation to find out the secrets of what's going on. It's like, okay, here's a bit of a scene with him staying in a motel. Here's a bit of the backstory. Here's more of Donnie Wahlberg shaving. Here's some more flashbacks. Here's some more flashbacks. Here's some more flashbacks. This is flashbacks of Mary Shaw. This is flashbacks of what she did with the boy and make him into a doll. And then, of course, the twist ending. And it does have those Saw type of flashes. Like, you know, trying to be hyperkinetic with certain bits. Especially in reveals of stuff. And like I said, the finale, I wouldn't say is my biggest cup of tea. Because what happens is, and there's heavy spoilers, Mary Shaw is kind of explaining stuff. They're trying to shoot the dolls. Donnie Wahlberg shooting with a shotgun. And then what happens is, they set it on fire, they run, and then the thing collapses and Donnie Wahlberg falls and screams and then he gets killed. And then when he dies, like his body's on the ground and the camera turns to a fucking electric razor. Like even then his electric razor is still buzzing. I guess that was meant for the audience to laugh. Like, I'm like, this is a pretty serious scene. And it doesn't seem like there's any other bits of comedy. They seem just a weird decision to put in there. And then the guy, the lead guy gets back to his dad, finds the dummy, throws it to the fire. I just thinking that's the main doll. But it's not, because you got the twist. And I think there's some people that are, what the fuck is this twist, you know? I wouldn't say I saw it coming the first time, because I just didn't think of it. Some may find it predictable. But Bob Gunton was a dummy the whole time. He was dead. And you see the nice effects. I do really like the effects on this. There's a device put in to make him talk like a ventriloquist. And Ella, his wife, is the perfect doll. And Mary Shaw is possessing that Ella, that doll. And she's the one playing behind the scenes, doing the ventriloquism over the phone to get the lead guy to go where she needs him to go. The lead guy dies, sets up for a sequel. The film did absolutely nothing when it came out box office. It got trashed by critics. and got quickly forgotten, and the writer and director hate the film. Both James Wan and Leigh Whannell, I think they have said it's their worst movie. Like I said, I don't think that. I think, I'd rather watch this than Furious 7 Aquaman, among others, but that's just me. So like I said, I like I think it does have a nice atmosphere to it. I think it's got some good style and directing choices by James Wan. Very good director. Yes, the movie does have a tendency to explain, but I do think it's a potentially intriguing backstory for a villain. The acting, I don't mind. A lot of people say the acting is bad. Other than Donnie Wahlberg, just feels like he's in a different movie. Like, the lead guy was fine. The mortician guy, Bob Gunton, even the woman who played Mary Shaw, they did their jobs well enough. The look of the film, I can see a lot of times, that really thick lighting, like in this case blue, would bother me. But I thought with the predicament here, I kind of get what they were going for with the look of the film. Like I said, even though it wasn't boring, it was pretty fast paced. I do wonder if this just would have fit better as just an episode of like I said, Tales from the Crypt or Tales from the Dark Side, or. And again, I'm just a sucker for happy endings. Not that type of happy ending, but I'm a sucker for that too. But obviously, no, not every movie needs that, and there are exceptions to the rule. And again, maybe because I'm not incredibly invested with the film, it didn't make me so mad, ranting about it. But I'm the type of guy that would have just had Donnie Wahlberg shoot Barry Shaw in the face, and Donnie Wahlberg coming in the end and shoot, accidentally hit Bob Gunton and blow his head up, and shooting with a shotgun and not going to scream. And hell, if you want to make his character quirky, have him like he put duct tape on around his mouth so he can't scream. Like, play that aspect off. Kind of like Malignant, where it just goes really batshit insane in the finale, where the villain becomes like a female John Wick. Like, I'd be up for that. Like, the way Malignant handled that, I'd be up for that stuff, to really amp it up. And there's some decent makeup with the aftermath, but it's not too gory of a film. It's R-rated, but it's not Saw type of gore. It wouldn't be anyway. But yeah, I thought this was still a pretty decent, quick to the point, atmospheric, well stylized and direction type of movie. You pop it in, you get a decent thing. I wouldn't say I was scared by it. Some people found it too silly, but there's also people that anything with a doll will be deemed too silly, or with a dummy. But it's not like The Boy. Remember that movie, The Boy, with the dummy, and then you find out it's something else going on? I watched this over The Boy. For those who remember that. But yeah, Dead Silence I don't mind for what it is. I don't love it, but yeah, I thought it was a decent enough film. Again, I would put Malignant and The Conjuring. Would I put The Conjuring 2 above this? Conjuring 3 he didn't direct, so that doesn't count. I don't know if... Maybe I would put Conjuring 2 above this, because I didn't mind that film. I like the characters a bit more. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. I believe is her name. Sorry if I got the name wrong. But anyway, I'm going off tangent. Dead Silence, like I said, it's not the... I don't think it's that bad of a movie. It's not that bad of a film. Sorry, James Wan, Leigh Whannell. It's not that bad. I'll tell you a secret. I'd rather watch this than Upgrade again. Because Upgrade pissed me off. That is a movie where the ending pissed me off. That is an ending that I thought was a cheap shot. It would be like if RoboCop ended with RoboCop, I don't know, shooting himself in the head. Or Alex Murphy got dead and wiped down, memory wiped. And OCP really did win. And Ronnie Cox was there. Yeah! I gotta call my friend Axel Foley. Yeah. Hey, he's in Detroit. We're in Detroit. Come on. People get pissed about that, but Upgrade pissed me off. This didn't. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.